with the new rules, games are going to be a lot more competitive. You can see the effect the 2-pointers are having as well. There's no game really over until it's over.
Hey lads, what do you think of the draw?
I suppose the nature of the competition is that any team you play is going to be on a similar level to yourselves. So from our point of view, we've a tough long away trip down in Waterford and a tough home game against Wicklow, and then familiar faces in Laois again in the neutral venue in the third round. So as I said, it doesn't matter what team you get, it's always going to be a tough challenge.
Yeah, no, sorry, I'm completely in agreement with that in terms of I do think the seeding is fairly accurate in terms of where teams are currently at. Like, we won't be able to take anyone for granted. A tough start against Offaly down there. They're obviously coming in with a bit of momentum, win the league final, and then obviously a tough day against yourselves the week after in Ockram, and then also familiar Connor and Waterford, neutral venue. We've played each other a lot over the last couple of years as well, so we're fairly familiar with each other.
Yeah, like that, we're familiar enough with yourselves and Laois. Offaly are a bit of an unknown. They've been up around Division 2 and 3. They haven't been down Division 4 in a good few years where we've been stuck. So look, it's as we're saying, it's a great competition, and you just have to take it week by week, especially at the start.
Yeah, I suppose I'm in agreement with all of you. I suppose it's a competition where I suppose everyone feels like they have a realistic chance of making progression in it, I suppose. So like, there's no easy group. I think every group is tough, and we just start. I suppose it's your first fixture. I suppose we've 3 tough fixtures, but we got to start with Waterford first.
Wants to watch our Rising Stars on your team?
I suppose regards Rising Stars, suppose we've a fellow out of 20s there the last few years, Simon Fingleton. Very good player. He's kind of made number 6 is on there, so he's probably one of the Rising Stars we have. One to watch then, maybe Ronan Coffey there from Port Ireland. He's had a good league. It's his first year with us, but he's put down a very good league, and he's one to watch for us.
From ourselves in Waterford, one to watch would be James Power. He's off the back of a couple of very strong club campaigns and a very good league campaign as well. So he's a young lad too, so he'd cover both of those, yeah.
From our point of view, we've quite a young squad at the moment. One lad jumps out in particular in terms of Rising Stars. He's an 18-year-old actually doing his leaving cert. It's Killian Burke, big man around the middle, well able to fetch ball, and no doubt we'll see him in the Offaly jersey in years to come. And then ones to watch, the one that jumps out is Jack Bryant. He had a great league campaign and good performance in the league final as well. So we'll be hoping he can continue that form into the Tailteann Cup.
Just make sure that Rising Star is studying next weekend. Just from my own perspective, wants to watch obviously probably Kevin Quinn. He's been around a couple of years now at this stage. You know, massively talented, comes from a good calibre. Rising Stars. We've actually been boosted by a couple of 20s coming in off the back of there as championship, so I wouldn't be surprised if you saw one or two of them feature through the course of the They're not studying now, alright.
Alright lads, who are the dark horses for the competition?
I think Wexford are probably dark horse in my eyes. I suppose they had a good league campaign, probably league final they probably would have been disappointed with, and then a lot of injuries, and then did a early exit out of Leinster, but I suppose they've had a lot of time there to regroup, and I suppose we've seen ourselves when you have a good bit of time to regroup that you can make a bit of progression. So yeah, Wexford would be my dark horses there.
I think one thing about competition is, you know, it comes back to momentum. You know, we only spoke about it, like even score difference is going to be massive as well. So Wexford probably dark horses in my opinion as well, yeah.
Yeah, I give Antrim a tag of dark horses. They had a very strong performance against Armagh for maybe 50-55 minutes up in Ulster, so that's going to bring momentum in itself, competing like that against All-Ireland champions.
I suppose from my point of view, you have to see everyone as a real threat. I look no further than yourselves, making to the final last year. No doubt you want to have a good stab at the competition again this year. But like that, there's probably more than half the teams in it are capable of going and getting the job done. So yeah.
Who is the danger man for your team this year?
I put him as one to watch. Kevin Quinn is definitely a danger man. Let's say Owen Darcy as well, probably not far away, and Old Head and Mark Kenny as well. There'll be someone that will feature as well, I'd imagine. So
yeah, I suppose ourselves, probably everyone knows him. Mark Barry's probably one of our danger men, and then probably Damon Larkin there around the middle of the park. They'll probably be our 2 danger men now, yeah.
From our point of view, it's probably Dylan Hyland. He's the one who's been racking up the big numbers throughout the league and championship. Aside from him, I suppose we've Keith O'Neill. It's only 21 or 22, but he's starting to pick up big numbers in the scoring as well.
Yeah, I mentioned there that as well there earlier on. James Power, he's probably our danger man, strong carrier of the ball and getting on the score sheet fairly regularly as well. Good for a 2-pointer.
Best game you've played or seen in the Tailteann Cup?
Like 2 years ago, we played Tiplow, Parky Queeve. Great game. We came out on the wrong side of it as a point. We got bet by a point, but it was great to play in a stadium like Parky Queeve. Yeah, that was probably my most memorable game to date.
The one that sticks out for me is actually from the first year of the competition back in 2022. New York actually came over to play us in Connor Park, so it was a great occasion to get a chance to play against New York. You know, a team you probably don't get to play against too many times throughout your career. So
Yeah, we're probably waiting for our best game, to be honest with you. Generally, we're slow starters in the actual competition, so I'll put that on ice.
I suppose in terms of ourselves, I suppose last year our semi-final, I suppose, was probably one of the most enjoyable games we played, and then I suppose even after we got to watch the Sligo Down semi-final last year, which I thought was a great game up and down the pitch. So yeah, more or less probably last year's semi-finals are probably two ones being involved in or watching. Yeah.
So the chip on the shoulder, who was playing with something to prove?
I suppose I can't look much further than ourselves. I think we've had a couple of poor Tailteann Cups and we're really trying to be going after it this year. Obviously very disappointing group campaign last year and even to a degree the year before that. So yeah, we'll definitely be thinking we have a bit of a chip on our shoulder coming into it. Yeah,
I think every team is probably the same in a way. Like, you're in the Tailteann Cup for a reason, so every team probably is going to have a chip in their shoulder. We're the same. Like, we had a poor league campaign. We were competitive in most games. Left ourselves down in a couple of games as well. So we'll be looking to prove to ourselves that we can do better. Yeah.
Yeah, I suppose same as that. It was, especially after last year, I suppose we were chip on our shoulder as well, and then even Leinster Championship this year, I suppose we were probably disappointed where we exit. So I think we've a chip on our shoulder from that as well. So you can't really look past yourselves. Yeah.
Yeah, so sorry I touched on that. Obviously, we're still waiting for a breakout performance in it as well. And probably looking from the outside, Carlow are probably a team that will have something to prove just with, you know, the manager leaving mid-season and stuff. They'll get a natural lift off, you know, a local appointment. So like, I probably consider them actually dark horse as well. Circling back on the original question as well, like they will take a scalp or two. So
what's training like in the lead up to a big match?
Don't want to be sharing secrets to it. No, sorry. A week a game probably would be fairly relaxed in terms of like, you're not going to be doing anything strenuous. You know, the Tuesday before Saturday game, you're probably looking at doing a small bit on the field, a bit of analysis, potentially a gym session. You know, Thursday or Friday, depending on the Saturday or Sunday game. Very much relaxed, warm up from the weekend that you're going to go into. Probably somewhat of a 15v15 game based scenario, and then off the field relatively quickly, generally.
Yeah, most teams are probably the same across the board with that. Yes, it's where you want to be, really, isn't it? The week leading up to a game, training's nice and light. You have all the hard work done. You can kind of just focus in the game and sit.
Yeah, I suppose more or less the same, really. I suppose you go hard at it the Tuesday and it's light enough on the Thursday. Then you'll do your analysis and then it's feed up for the Friday or the Saturday whenever you're playing then.
Yeah, it seems to be the same across the board, lads. All the work seems to be done in the weeks leading up, and then the week of the game, I suppose it's more of a mental thing than a physical thing. The physical work's done, but then you really start kind of going after the little details on the build up to the game. So.
Right, lads, any messages to the fans before we get underway?
Yeah, I suppose, look, just get out and support your county. I suppose it's a competition where I suppose your county is there for a reason and they'll be going hard at it to win it, and I suppose everyone probably has a realistic chance to win it, and there's no better feeling, I suppose, than playing a game with a packed stadium or even a half-packed stadium in some cases. But yeah, just say get out and start watching games. You know, they're good games. Tailteann Cup as well.
I completely agree with that. We saw it naturally enough bringing the dubs to town in the Leinster Championship and sold out Ockram. We'd just be hoping that bit of momentum, you know, carries over into the weekend as well. And we generally do get a good following on the road, and then the week after against using Ockram, we'd be hoping for somewhat of a relatively decent crowd.
Yeah, it goes without saying, the sport makes a huge difference, and supporters can expect, I suppose, tight, closely contested games as well. Like, so, you know, it will be a spectacle if you do turn up and support. And from our point of view, supporters have been quite good to us this year, so we'll be hoping that kind of continues.
I think building on that as well, with the new rules, games are going to be a lot more competitive. As the weather is getting better now, the games are going to be a lot better to watch than years gone by. They're faster. You can see the effect the 2-pointers are having as well. There's no game really over until it's over. Like, so, yeah, football is going to be good, I think, in the next few weeks.
Sure, best of luck, Les. I suppose we'll be
Yeah,
seeing you
definitely.
next
See
year.
you next
Yes.
2 weeks.
See you in the next 4 weeks.
Best of luck, fellas.
Best of luck, man.